There was a fun end to the reading year of what was a crazy 2020, and I will try to jumble my way through it as best I can. I read Everyone's an Aliebn When Ur and Aliebn Too by Jomny Sun. I read it at the end of 2020. I give it 4 out of 5 stars, and I wrote this about it. This was wonderful, but is it a book? Is it a graphic novel? Is it a creative comic strip of affirmations? It doesn't particularly need definition, but I definitely thought it was something different than it is before it showed up at my door. It's super quick and insightful and fun to zip through, but because of its format, you will be done with it very, very fast. Now, what to do with it? I want to share it with my kids because the deep messages are profound, and their delivery vehicle is special because of the comic metaphor structure. But that primary convention of consistently misspelling particular words has me worried to put it in front of my primary school children that seem to be at a sensitive time and are somewhat struggling with spelling. Is there a way to dig into that convention as a learning device as well? Is the transcendent lesson of releasing us from conventional structures too deep for a third grader? Maybe it's a teaching/learning opportunity on many levels. I'm going to try to look at it that way. I really liked it. I wish I had understood more about it before I ordered it. So my weird pronouncing of the title connects to the spelling piece that I have there in the review. Jomny, as he lists his name on this book, even though there's a Jomny Sun in other places too, is a purposeful, as from what I can tell, misspelling. There's Aliebn with a B in it, and Ur is U-R. These things are interesting, and it's a good thing I wore my old man hat for this review, for this video here. I don't think it necessarily matters spelling in this regard, but I had those concerns when I wrote the review because I wanted to encourage good spelling for my kids. I did share it with them, and this is bringing up in me one of the interesting podcasts that I've actually consumed about how we teach reading altogether. It's called Sold a Story, and I will link it in the notes to this video. Sold a Story talks about a couple different concepts of how we teach people to read, how those concepts over time have been hijacked a little bit by philosophies that, while well-intentioned, ended up not helping people read. Talks about the 3 cueing system and how feeling like a good reader is a method that was taught in many schools, including my kids' primary school, but has a lot to do with guessing and is a sort of anti-phonics. People of my generation will remember well-memed ad of "hooked on phonics, worked for me." Well, 3 cueing is the opposite of phonics. 3 cueing looks at phonics as if it's a negative thing. I am firmly on the side of phonics and accuracy. That being said, understanding this book is not on that side of the debate. Some of the profound nature of its message is in the concept of rejecting phonics and rejecting accuracy, instead to accept understanding. And that's the heart of the 3 cueing method. But reading isn't the message here. Taking out the deliberate misspellings here and just considering that everyone's an alien when you're an alien too, turns out to be a wonderful message that should be shared in a way that brings everyone together and realizing that we are all the same kind of thing. It's a book about connecting with things that on their face or through the way they look might not seem the same as you. But when you consider that we are all trying to figure this out together, how to exist and how to fully appreciate the experience of living, everyone's an alien when you're an alien too. Jomny Sun, from what I can read, and this is mostly from Goodreads, I haven't done a whole lot of research into the subject, but Jomny Sun is a sort of a renaissance man of different pursuits, different successes, different fields. There are other books that are very different than this, it appears. This is the only thing I've read by him. The thing that seems to be the channel with which he got his trajectory has a lot to do with social media, posting, sharing, creating memes. And this book kind of reads like that. When I say it's a comic book, I like the question that I ask in the review. Is it a creative comic strip of affirmations? It feels like that. It feels like it's affirming connection, existence, unity, and all those things I think we need a lot of. For a cute, easy read that is not 100% around accurate phonics, I recommend Everyone's an Aliebn When Ur and Aliebn Too by Jomny Sun. I read it at the end of the first year of the pandemic, and I think this finishes my 2020. I think I move on to different things in 2021, but it's a good one to share with all different kinds of people.